He said, oh, just go see the girl at the window. So I went to see her, and I told her what happened. So
by the way, is she a little girl?
Yeah, she's a young girl.
She's a woman.
A woman.
Okay.
She's a woman.
So you went to see the woman at the window.
18 years old.
She's still a woman.
Yeah, she's
a
woman.
Go ahead.
This is the plaintiff, Christopher Featherstone. He says he brought his car to the defendant's car wash, and one of the improper functioning brushes knocked off the side view mirror on his 2002 Mercedes-Benz. He complained immediately after witnessing the incident. The manager called and told him he watched the video, and it looked like he was the one who physically moved the mirror back and forth after the car wash, and that he caused the damage himself. Oh, what a crock of baloney. He's not going to waste his time with a person like that, so here they are. He's suing for $870, the cost to fix his broken mirror. This is the defendant, Patrick Naimi. He says the video clearly shows no broken mirror until the plaintiff reaches out of his car and moves it back and forth forcibly. The plaintiff broke the mirror himself and has no right blaming him. Besides, he has disclaimers all over the wall stating he's not responsible for cars over 5 years old. He's accused of being all washed up.
All parties, please use your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Mr. Featherstone, you
Yes, ma'am.
take your car once a week to the defendant's car wash, correct?
Yes, once or twice a week.
Once or twice a week. Oh, you're better than I am. Okay. And what happened on this fine day?
I was going through the wash, and the wash has like brushes that goes, flare around to wash your car. They come out wash when you're going in.
So they spin and they come at you, right?
They are sensible to the car. They sense the car. They approach the car.
A sensor has them approaching the car, and they're also spinning at the
That's
time.
correct.
Right. So when I got to the last one, it was broken. It didn't spin.
What did it do?
It just came out.
Without any of it spinning?
No spinning.
Okay.
And then when I got to it, it broke my mirror.
Right, but if it were spinning, it would be going like this in the exact same spot. Does the axle get any closer to the car if it's not spinning?
No, Your Honor.
Did the thing move?
Yeah, it came to the car, but it
Okay.
didn't flare out.
So are you saying that it came up more than it would have if it had been spinning?
Yes.
Because that's the only
Yes.
thing you can be saying.
Yes, more
But
than it was.
what would cause it to do that?
I don't know, but it hit my window and it broke.
Did you
broke the
feel it
mirror.
hit your window?
Yeah, it like cracked like that.
Now, you immediately brought it to their attention, right?
Immediately, when I got to the blower was blowing, I rolled my window down to try to push it back to see if it was just popped. And I did it a couple of times, but it wouldn't lock in. It was broken.
Okay.
So I came out I went straight to the attendant and told him what happened. He said, oh, yeah, our blower, the last one is broken. I said, okay, what should I do? He said, oh, just go see the girl at the window. So I went to see her, and I told her what happened. So
By the way, is she a little girl?
Yes, she's a young girl.
She's a woman.
A woman.
Okay.
She's a woman.
So you went
She
to
looked
see
to
the
be about
woman at
17,
the window.
18 years old.
She's still a woman.
Yes, she's
All right,
a
go
woman.
ahead.
So she came out to come and check it. So she went in. So the next person that was going in, it did the same thing to theirs, but their mirrors distract when you push it.
Retract. And yours don't?
No, mine on the Mercedes, you have to push the button to retract it.
Okay. Now, you weren't present for any of this, right?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So where is the person who was present for all this stuff? They're not
It
here?
was the cashier that was.
Okay. Do you have an affidavit from her or anything?
I do not.
Okay. So how are you going to testify as to what happened that day?
I have proof, Your Honor, that when Mr. Featherstone comes after the brushes, he actually pushes the button in his car. He opens his side mirrors, both sides at the same time.
By pressing the automatic button
By pressing the
inside.
automatic. And I have
Okay.
the document. document right here to show you. I have the video.
Is it a
to show
video?
you. Yes.
Okay.
So it's the third video, and it says camera number 13. And yeah.
Okay, hold on. Oh,
Right now, on both sides. There's nothing wrong.
okay. I have a question for you. I'm looking at this video, and in this video, it looks as though your stuff is retracted. Look at it again. And then you press the auto button to get them out.
Just take a look.
So pay attention. Take a
Okay.
look. Come closer if you want. See how they, right there?
But this here, the blower is blowing this up. The blower is blowing this up, not the distraction, because
I don't know how a blower could possibly
It's
blow
really
both,
strong.
It's both mirrors on both
No,
sides.
all right,
Hold
watch.
on, hold on.
Okay.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Do you, be honest, do you go to the car wash, by the way?
Yeah,
Okay. Do you check your car, walk around it before you leave?
sometimes.
Okay, it sounds like never, but you just want to kind of like fudge the truth here.
I mean, sometimes I do. It depends
On what?
if I think they did a good job or not.
No. Okay, well, I'm talking about damage.
Damage?
Damage. Oh,
I never really look for damage.
okay. I had a feeling. What do you say?
No, I've never checked.
Sir?
I've never checked for damage, no.
Anybody check for damage? You know, people don't. We're going to talk about that going inside the courtroom.
Both mirrors on both sides open. I'm not going to believe the blower opened them because they can only open, according to your prior testimony, by you pressing a button. Now, but here's my question. What I want to understand is this broken, non-spinning thing before this point in time or after this point in time?
Before.
Is it before or after?
It is before, Your Honor.
Okay. Go ahead and go back to the lectern.
Thank you.
And then this is the video where he's fiddling with it, right?
Yes.
See, it's broke.
Yeah. But what is your take on that? You think he broke it?
I'm not saying he
Well,
broke
you have said it. That was your answer to the
Honor.
complaint. What do you think? I mean, he's obviously testing it to see what's wrong.
If it was broken, Your Honor, the electronic would not open the mirrors. If it was broken, he would not be able to open the mirrors again.
Explain to me how it's broken now. Like, is it that the mechanism doesn't work, or is it actually physically damaged?
It's physically damaged.
Let me see pictures of the physical damage.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, there was a tape on it. This is you taking the tape off, and then there's still some tape left.
Right.
Okay. But now I want to know, where's the picture of the physical damage to it? Where's the actual?
It's on the phone there.
Okay. I'm going to have you step here, and you're going to show me how the brush that wasn't spinning actually caused damage.
Okay.
You show it because I couldn't see it when I looked at the video you just showed me either. What I see is just the residue tape. And what I have to guard against is that your internal mechanism isn't working, and that you'd like him to pay $1,000 to get it working again, right? It's got to be the fault of the place. I need to see how that brush did physical damage, because that brush has a range.
Right.
So it can't extend longer than that range.
But when-
So I'm not really seeing how this could happen.
But when it's
But
not-
no. But I want to give you a chance to prove it. So now you're going to show me pictures of physical damage.
Okay, she has them on here.
Okay, that's me. All right,
That's
go
you.
over there and show me.
If you look good, you'll see.
I look good.
Where it broke the light inside here. Now go.
Where will I see that?
Right here.
I'm
That's
supposed to see
broken.
that it's broken?
Yes, it's broken.
I don't see that it's broken. Do you
That's
have a
why
better
I'm trying to
picture
pull up
showing
a
that
better
it's broken?
picture. Yeah, I have the pictures. It's broke there. That mirror is broke. That glass there broke.
Yeah.
That one there broke. If you
All right, but I did see that the glass was broken. Go ahead and step back. Is it even possible for the arm that is not spinning to have the arm itself, the metal part of the arm, hit a car?
No, Your Honor.
Why not?
When it is broken, it does not approach the car. It stays away from the car. When it is working, that's when the hydraulics work and get close to the car.
Okay, is there ever a time when it can go too much?
No, Your Honor.
Why not?
Because there is mechanisms that actually gauge the range. So it does not, it only goes further to the right or further to the back because it has protective mechanisms, just for those reasons.
Let me ask you a question. You
Yes,
have an
ma'am.
additional defense about the fact that you have a warning sign out there. Where's the warning sign?
Is at the entrance of the car wash, right? It's a 5 by 5 foot big sign. Antennas or side mirrors,
We are not responsible for any
rear
antennas or side
antennas or
mirrors.
side mirrors. And at the end, it says vehicles over 5 years old. Because
We're not responsible for any vehicles over 5 years old. How old is your vehicle?
It was 2002.
So your vehicle can vote.
that's the big sign right there, Your Honor.
That sign wasn't there.
It's always
It
there,
never's been
Your
there.
Honor. It's been there for about a year and a half.
I've never seen a car wash that didn't have the sign there. They all know they're supposed to
It
put the
didn't
sign.
have the sign. But
Why would anybody open a car wash and not put the sign? That's like car wash 101.
Can I ask you, what do these systems cost? I'm just curious.
About $500,000 to $600,000.
Yeah,
So
they're
they're
very,
accurate.
very pricey. Well, then he racks it up with people coming in and paying what? How much do people pay for the car wash?
7, 9, and 12.
So how long does it take to get your investment?
A few years.
A few years, right? But then
But
it's gravy after that.
That's gravy after
How long
that.
do those machines last?
About 10 years.
How old is this machine? A year?
A year and a half.
Right. Did anybody else complain that day?
Not that day. No, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm designing a $600,000 machine. $600,000 machine. It better not be going whoop, whoop, whoop to cars. It better, because it's so easy to design it in a way where the arm only extends to X. It won't keep extending after that. And you're suggesting that the lack of spin, which everybody acknowledges is true, somehow made it go closer to your car. And I just don't understand how. What am I supposed to do with the video that shows that you press a button and they open up perfectly?
It went out, but it won't distract. It was broken.
I know, your mechanism broke. Now let's talk about the other issue. The other issue is that the signs are out there. But they say we're not responsible for anybody's side mirrors, but certainly not an 18-year-old car's side mirrors, where the mechanism has lasted you 18 years, or somebody 18 years. We're not responsible for that. There's a disclaimer. You're there every week, sometimes twice a week. I know that the guy just opened up a brand new car wash. He has to be the dumbest man in America if he doesn't do what every single car wash does, which is put up the disclaimer. They all do that. You're never going to find a car wash that doesn't have the disclaimer. So why should I believe that it wasn't there?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Your Honor.
But, ma'am,
We're done. Under these facts, I cannot order him to pay you almost $1,000 to repair your 18-year-old side mirror. Verdict for the defendant.
Thank you.
So the plaintiff fails to prevail. Good try, Mr. Featherstone, but it didn't work. What are you thinking?
I don't know. But like he said, it's $100,000 wash. Now, if it was that $600,000 wash,
a lot of money.
Why is it broke?
Things do go wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it did. It was broke.
Well,
and it distracted out.
You explained it off.
and
The
broke
judge
my
just
mirror.
didn't buy your story. Just didn't.
Right.
That's the
But
bottom
that's
line.
what it
I'm
was.
sorry.
That's what it was. And
See, you don't get the money.
Right.
Obviously, you go there a lot. You have been.
I go there at least once, twice a week.
Will you go back?
Yeah.
Have you been back since?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Since this
Not with
happened?
that car, with my other car.
Different car?
Yeah. They
Okay.
had fixed it.
Well, sorry about that. Thank you very much, though.
right.
Okay, you tried,
Okay.
and you did the best you could. It just didn't work. Mr. Naimi, you okay with
I'm
this?
fine. I'm happy with the judge's decision.
And no one else claimed car damage that day, as you
No.
said? And
There
you do
was-
400 cars a day?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Well, good luck. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Thank you.
You must sign some documents that way. Harvey, what do you think?
Okay, Doug. So I told these folks here who none of them check their car before they leave the car wash. If you leave the car wash and then you find damage once you drive off the lot, you're screwed. They will deny it and you're not going to be able to prove it. Walk around the car and do a once-over before you leave. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Ryan Joyce. He says the defendant's his former landlord and he was unfairly blamed for breaking the washing machine when he lived there. Now that he's gone, he can't get the defendant to return the money she owes him for rent he paid. He's not gonna just walk away from his hard-earned money like that, and is suing her in this court today for the $1,225 he's owed. This is the defendant, Trina. She says the plaintiff overloaded her washer, which caused a leak, and she had to have a repair guy come over, and she needed to buy a new machine. The plaintiff agreed to make payments on the new machine because he broke it, but the liar never did. This guy's just one of those disgruntled tenants looking for a payday, but the judge will see right through him like the cheesecloth he is, and he will leave a loser today. She's accused of being all washed up. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $2,021.37, the cost of a new washing machine and rent owed.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says his former landlord blamed him unfairly for breaking the washing machine. But the defendant says the plaintiff overloaded the washer. It's the case of one vicious cycle.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Mr. Joyce, you
Yes.
were living in a house owned by Trina, and you have been living there for how long?
Honestly, I was only there from July 6th, I believe, to November 26th.
Okay.
It was Black Friday or Saturday. I moved out.
Okay.
Black
So what caused you to move out? There was an argument about a washing machine.
Right. Well, it started with that. I mean, honestly.
And what was tell me about it. What
Yeah,
happened?
sure. I don't feel like I broke it. I mean, it wasn't even my stuff that was
Okay,
in
but
there.
what was it they said? Hey, you broke it because, we feel you broke it because what? What was
Because
said?
it was shaking violently originally.
While you were using it?
While I was using it.
What did you
yes.
have in there?
I had a couple towels and maybe 2 pairs of jeans.
Did you have a comforter in there?
No, I never did.
Okay, so
never used that.
so you feel it just breaks down while you're using it, and you got
Right,
blamed
and I
for
was
it.
like maybe the second to last one to use it. I don't even think I was the last one to use it.
All
to
right,
be
so
honest.
did she confront you and say you broke the machine?
Yeah, she basically
And
just.
what do you say?
I said I wasn't sure. I mean, I honestly just signed the agreement because
Yeah, because
I was afraid
I'm
of being
curious
evicted.
because you end up signing an agreement saying you broke the machine. Why'd you sign it?
Because honestly, I was afraid of being evicted, and I mean, I know it wasn't explicitly stated that I was going to be evicted if I didn't sign it, but I mean that was pretty much implied. I mean,
Well, you left anyway.
I left anyway.
So why would I believe you had this great fear of being evicted when you made the decision to leave just a few days later anyhow?
Well, what it was, what it came down to was I think she was gone for like a week, and I had an altercation with Aisha's son.
So Trina's girlfriend lives there too?
Yes.
Okay, is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, come on up. So you end up having an altercation with her son. Was her son living there?
Yes, he moved from Sacramento.
Okay, and so he was living there, and what was the altercation about?
It was very late at night, and I had to work in the morning, so I ended
What
up.
time is very late at night?
Like 12:30.
Okay, that's late at night.
So
Go ahead.
I mean, it started around 10. I finished watching a show that I like, and I heard him talking on the phone like really loud. But I was like, oh, it's no big deal. It's only 10 o'clock. Well, two and a half hours went by of that, and I just kind of lost my cool. And honestly,
Okay,
came
because
out.
he was speaking loudly on the
He was
phone?
speaking loudly on the phone.
Where was he physically?
He was in the kitchen.
And-
basically, what was going on was he was swearing, just profanities, yelling profanities, talking about, people who jump people are clowns. I mean, he kept going back
People
to
who
that.
what?
Jump people are clowns. So it's literally
Okay.
what he said over and over again. I just felt like I was like losing brain cells by listening.
All right, so when you walk out, what do you tell him?
Hey man, come on, shut up. I did swear at him. I don't
Okay.
care about that.
And then what did he say to you?
He said, okay, all right, I'm sorry.
Okay, so then what happens? She comes back into town and she sends you a text that says, listen, we should talk about what happened. And what do you do?
All right, well, she sent me a text saying, hey, we have to have a discussion. But I guess it was more along the lines of I already felt like I was being set up for the washing machine, so I figured out she was setting me up again to kick me out.
Well, that's not a setup. You're on a month-to-month tenancy, right?
Right.
So all anybody has to do if they want you out is say, you have 30, I'm giving you notice, 30 days from now you have to go. There's no setup. You don't have a right to live there
No, that's
for,
true.
right.
That's right.
So her text specifically said we should talk about what happened. It didn't say anything more, right?
No, maybe I
All
might
right,
have
so
jumped to
then,
conclusions.
then what happens? You tell her what?
I tell her that I just feel like it's best if I leave.
Okay,
in
but
like
how
2
much
weeks.
notice did you give her?
Gave her like, I think I gave her about 2 weeks.
And then you do leave,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're suing today because you gave her $100 after agreeing you'd pay for the washing machine. You went out and bought a washing machine that cost how much?
I I believe it was $648, Your Honor.
Plus your 3-year warranty, plus, you know, some other stuff. So I have a question for you. How old was that washing machine?
The machine was 8 years old.
If I break an 8-year-old washing machine, why would I buy you a brand new 3-year warranted new washing machine? Your measure of damages is what the person broke. The person broke something that if you tried to sell it at a flea market, you'd get how much? That's what the amount is. So I'm kind of curious, why were you making him pay $800?
Understandable.
What proof did you have that he broke it anyway?
Well, the machine, I had no prior issues to the machine. It was working
Other than it was 8 years old?
Correct. But I had no physical issues where it wasn't making any sounds used for...
Yes, I know. And then what?
My partner here, Ms. Robinson...
You tell me if it was you who saw something. Go ahead.
I did. I was in the room, our bedroom, and I hear this loud doom, 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 like a really thumping sound. And I opened the door and it was the washer. And I knocked on the door and asked Ryan, was he doing laundry? And he said yes.
Okay.
So I hurried up and tried to figure out how to shut the washer off.
Right. What did he do to break it?
He had a comforter, all his laundry was in the washer.
Right, but what did he do to break it?
He overloaded it.
Yeah, but it sounds like the noises that you're talking about sound like, you know, there's some, like a belt broke or something that's making the...
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
it
So
had
have you
a
had
weird
that?
smell.
Let me ask you a question. Did you have somebody come out and diagnose how it broke?
I spoke to my repairman that, you know, he's a plumber.
Did he see it?
He did not see it, Your Honor.
Oh, so he doesn't know what was wrong with it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about what you're suing for. You're suing for the $100 that you gave her. You want that back. When you say in your lawsuit $750 for last month's rent, what month are you talking about?
Talking about the first and last I paid, well, the first, last.
When you moved in, you paid last month's rent.
So I paid
Okay.
$1,500 when I moved.
Now, on the November rent, you had paid half of it.
I paid on November 1st.
But you stayed until the end of November. So how do you figure that if you stayed there all of November, you should get the half rent you paid back?
Well, it's a little strange because on November 1st, under the impression that I was still living there and everything was okay, I gave her $300 cash. She said she would put the receipt under my door that I asked for. She never did.
I don't think you deny that he paid you $375 in rent in November, do you?
He never paid me anything, Your Honor.
Oh, you do deny
He
it.
actually, in fact, owes me October rent as well as toiletries.
Okay. So do you have a receipt? See, cash doesn't leave this hand until a receipt goes into this hand. If someone tells me they don't have a receipt, just take a piece of paper and a pen and have them write a receipt. There's no magic to a receipt.
I know.
Did you normally get receipts?
Honestly, only in the beginning when I first moved
Okay,
in.
well, this is the cost of not getting receipts. She's denying that you paid her rent in November at all. All right, you don't have a receipt. Do you have like a withdrawal from the bank from that day? Anything?
Anything?
Witnesses?
Not with me, just them. Honestly, I gave her
Yeah,
the
they're not going to
300
testify
I know,
for you.
I know, exactly.
You know, if you don't feel like dealing with receipts, nowadays there's Venmo. That's an automatic receipt, you know, Zelle, whatever, Cash App. You know, then there's always a receipt of everything you do. You don't even have to bother yourself with a crayon and a roll of
Towards
toilet
the
paper.
end, I honestly was asking for receipts very frequently when I paid.
Either that or towards the end you weren't paying rent, one or the other. So in October, according to you, he still hadn't finished paying rent.
That's correct, Your
According
Honor.
to you, he owed how much in October?
In October, he owed me $135 for past rent and $15 for toiletries that he never paid.
What's your response to that you still owed $135 in October?
I have the text telling her that I was on my way to give her the money.
Okay,
and
let
she
me
never
see that.
denied it. Yeah, absolutely.
And what happened with the texts that say...
He never came and showed up.
No, that's not true.
Okay. All right, so while he's looking for the receipts to prove up his case, let's talk about your case. You have a counterclaim against him for $2,021.37. One of it is $827.35 for a washing machine. So are you saying it was $927.35? Because he's already given you $100.
He has not given me anything, Your Honor.
He never gave you $100 for the
He
machine?
hasn't paid me anything. He's been backed up since October.
How come if he didn't go there that day and pay it, there's no text from you saying you didn't come here and you didn't pay it? I think both of you are liars and that you've gone back in your heads now that there's a confrontation and you've figured out what the other side can't prove and then you're just claiming not to have gotten any of it. It's kind of disturbing to me.
So what is an 8-year-old washing machine worth? What do you say? 8-year-old. And it's a good washer.
Probably like 200.
$200? Does that sound right? Does that sound high? What does it sound?
100.
100. Sir?
$50.
I'm going inside the courtroom because we're going to owe you money if we go to somebody else. Going inside.
We've talked about the washing machine. We've talked about the balance. And now the monies for 1 month's rent owed December. Tell me about that. Why would he owe you December?
I have a lease that's a month to month.
And he didn't give you any notice?
He did not give me a 30-day
Well, he gave you
notice.
notice. He didn't give you a 30-day notice.
He did not give me a 30-day notice,
And a 30-day
Your
notice
Honor.
is required. So why do you get to just leave in a couple of days?
Honestly, I thought I was doing her a favor by leaving early because
Okay.
she didn't want to, she didn't like me. And we
Okay, you
didn't get
did
along.
collect, when he first came in, did you collect last month's rent in the initial lease?
Yes,
Okay, so there is $750 on your side.
that's correct.
And you had him write something down that said he broke the machine, didn't you?
Yes, he offered on via text message. He said if I broke it, then I'll pay for it.
Let me see it.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so what evidence do you have that you actually paid the $100?
As part of the payment on 1025, I did. I think it was an
Do you have
extra.
any proof of that?
I don't.
Okay, let me tell you something. I agree that she's gonna have to prove that you broke the machine, okay? But I also agree that you're gonna have to prove that you paid the $100. So you're
Right.
suing to get $100 back that you can't prove you paid and that she denies you ever paid her.
Right.
And that the agreement does not seem to, what it says is that you're gonna pay an additional $100 in rent. And then we know that in November, you hadn't paid all the rent yet. So you're not entitled to that, okay? The $375 monies for half of November rent, which according to you, you paid $300 and you paid $75. She denies that you ever paid her that. And the minute you said it in the text, she immediately denied it and said, you are delusional. Take your meds. You never paid anything. You have no proof that you paid that either, right? There's nothing. There's no receipt. There's nothing for you to prove you paid it.
I guess not.
Okay. Now you have a counterclaim against him. You want him to pay $827.35 for a washing machine. We've already been over that. I don't think you have proof that he broke it. Just because he's washing a comforter in there. I wash comforters in there. The thing broke when the thing broke. The timing is what the timing is. Yes, he agreed to pay for it, but then he changed his mind, and he can do that because there's no consideration for that promise. So I don't believe he owes you for the washing machine. I think he's right about that. You say he owes you a balance for October of $135. How are you going to prove that? I mean, if you decide that it's not worth it to you to put things in writing, then you guys end up with a pickle. And now the money's owed for 1 month's rent being December. That's interesting. Because he gives you no notice, which he admits. Money for lost wages, you're not entitled to that. So that's easy. You're not entitled to get last month's rent plus any rent you paid for a month you were actually there, which makes no sense. I don't know why you're suing for that you can't prove you paid. I believe that the $750 that you paid at the original part of the lease is what's going to cover November because you can't prove you paid November. And then the question becomes, is she entitled to another $750 because you didn't give notice? And I find that she is. So as for your lawsuit against her, you're unable to prove it. And as for her lawsuit against you, I'm not ruling in her favor on the washing machine or the balance in October or the lost wages, but I am ruling in her favor on the rent for December because we all have to abide by the rules, and the rules are 30 days notice. Net judgment then in favor of the defendant in the amount of $750.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So in this case where neither party had any really hard evidence to prove their case, the defendant does get the rent for November. Just
for
$750.
December,
For December, yeah, you're going to have to pay that.
Gosh, I don't know. I don't feel like I owe her anything.
All right,
It
sorry
is what
about
it
that.
is.
Okay.
All right, have a good one.
Hope you learned something. You need receipts, man. You need receipts. Get them next time. Get them. All right, Trina, you're lucky too. You didn't have. You got to force people to take receipts. You've
That's
learned
right.
something, right?
Yes, I have.
I mean, really. You're lucky to get the rent, so you get $750.
I'm very not lucky. I deserve it because the way he left was very unfair.
Okay.
That's just not how you do things. I treated him very well as a tenant there,
Okay.
and I'm just grateful that I was able to get that.
Good enough. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You must sign some documents on your way out of the courtroom. Harvey.
So here's the deal, that you have to give 30 days notice in most states in order to get your security back. Even if the lease doesn't specify the amount of notice, in most states the law says tenants have to give 30 days. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
These are the plaintiffs, Anne-Marie and Peter Pulicino. Anne-Marie says they hired the defendant to refinish the hardwood floors in their house, and one of his workers crashed his vacuum into their 36-inch expensive stainless steel refrigerator door, denting it. She witnessed the mishap and immediately told them they damaged the door, and they denied it was their fault. She now needs a new door. It costs $2,584.22, and that's the exact amount they're suing for today. This is the defendant, Andrash. He says he refinished the floors, then a few months later received a text from the plaintiffs stating someone had damaged their floors after delivering some appliances and they needed them fixed. He went over to do a quick fix, and the plaintiffs started yelling one of his guys hit into their fridge. A plastic hose from a vacuum couldn't have caused this damage. The plaintiffs are liars and he owes nothing. He's accused of a major mishap.
All parties, please hit your radians.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiffs hired the defendant to refinish their hardwood floors. They say a worker smashed the vacuum into the fridge, but the defendant says the plaintiffs were out of control and damage caused by the vacuum was impossible. It's the case of suck it up.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Mr. and Mrs. Pulicino, you're suing he had been your floor guy?
Yes, he did floors previously, and then I had another
$2,584.22 for a brand new stainless steel door on your what kind of appliance?
Miele refrigerator.
Stainless steel refrigerator.
They're
because
separated.
according to you, he or his people,
His
not
worker.
him, his
His worker,
worker
right.
scratched it. What
Yes.
happened?
Okay, so they came in to fix some floors that are in front of my stove. Okay, my refrigerator is a little off. His worker had a vacuum pack on his back, was vacuuming up. As he turned, I saw him brush my refrigerator.
With what?
With his vacuum pack, that vacuum
With
pack
what
right there.
part of it?
The bottom part of it, or whatever part. I didn't, like, when he was turning, like, I know he hit it with part
How
of it.
do you know he hit it?
Because I saw him. He was
Okay,
right.
so you saw him. So
Yes,
you're going
I'm
to tell
right.
me, hold on. You're going to tell me then what part he hit it with.
Okay.
There is the machine right there.
Can I see it?
Yeah,
Closer?
absolutely.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know how heavy it is, so why don't you walk around front? Walk around front, follow my bailiff. Okay.
So it's hard, like the tallness of him, like, when he brushed up against, I'm thinking that can I wear this so I can see? Okay. I got to be exact, like I saw what he did, like he was vacuuming this way, right? And then he turned, so I guess he hit it with this part of the vacuum like that.
Okay.
When he turned and he scratched the refrigerator. And,
Okay,
well, he hit
now,
it.
why was he near the refrigerator anyway? Was it just he was finishing the vacuuming?
Yes.
Go ahead and go over
Yeah.
there.
So I let him continue his work because now I had flooring pieces that were missing on my floor.
Did
So
you say anything right then?
until he finished vacuuming, then I said, I went over to them, I'm like, you scratched my refrigerator. And his partner, or whoever it was, said, no, I didn't. And he went like that. I said, yeah, look, it's a scratch. I let them finish. At the end, I spoke to Joe. According to me, he's Joe. I don't know what other alias he goes by. But I spoke to Joe and I said, Joe, there's a scratch here. He's like, oh, well, that happened to my refrigerator too. Here, let's look on Home Depot. There's why I was like, well, I'm not comfortable ordering something from Home Depot to fix it. I was like, I would like to call Miele, the company, and see how they can fix a screen.
They're going to tell you need a new door.
Right. Well, right.
So was there any? And that's exactly what they told you.
Right.
And
Well,
they
like,
want to
there's
charge
nothing-
you $2,500.
Right.
So you
I
tell
cleaned
me,
it, and
when's the first you learned that she says you guys scratched it?
Well, I was there. I was standing by the sliding door. She was sitting by the island.
I wasn't sitting.
Hold on.
standing.
No. Let me tell you how it doesn't work.
Okay.
You talked, and I didn't let him interrupt you. He didn't
Okay.
even try.
Okay.
But now he talks, and you don't interrupt him. Go ahead.
So I was standing by the sliding door to the backyard, and then she ran or jumped up to there, and she indeed said that he hit the door, the refrigerator, and then later on I spoke with her because I tried to look I didn't see anything. Then we finished up the flooring repair. And then she asked me, what are we going to do about it? And I said, well, I looked, I didn't see anything. She went there. She had to kind of look for it for a while. And then she showed me I have some pictures of the damage.
Yeah, let me see. Right. That's 2 scratches on her. This refrigerator costs what?
$7,000.
Yeah. It's a really pricey refrigerator.
Well, according to Mila, which I have documents of, they purchased this as a floor model.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Wait,
also
I'm sorry, are you suggesting the scratches were there already?
I'm not saying that. I mean, I don't believe it was us. Actually, I have a piece of stainless.
In any event, the bottom line is she spots it right away. And you actually signed something saying, I'll fix this. I'll be responsible.
Well, she didn't say anything about $3,000. I indeed said.
Oh, I see. So wait a minute. Whether you're responsible depends on if you like the price.
So when you hire a repair guy, do you check to see what they're doing as they're in your home?
Yes, I do.
Why?
To make sure they're doing a good job.
You don't trust them?
I do not.
Good. Go. What do you say?
I watch them too.
Do you really watch them?
Yeah.
You're a smart lady. I'm serious. You just never know going inside the courtroom.
No, I said I look into it if it can be buffed out.
Is that what you said? Let me see what you said. I will look into whether I think it's a reasonable price. No, that's not what it says. Here's what it says. I will be responsible for the scratch caused by the vacuum pack. That's what it says. If this was good enough for you, why can it not be good enough for me?
What happened was
because what I can't have is you saying, oh, so sorry, I'll be responsible for it. Wait, it's 2003. No, now I'm not responsible. I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
She was about to pay me, and when she put the money back, and then she said, you know what, I want you to sign something.
Then don't sign it. Well, you're a grown boy. What are you? Come on.
Okay, so I brought a piece of stainless steel, 18 gauge, the same thing.
And
I mean, I tried to scratch it. She can try to scratch it with it.
How can you recreate a moment in time?
You can do it tougher if you like to.
No, it's very hard to recreate, and I'll tell you why. Because your guy has a certain height, and he has a certain weight, and he hit it with a certain force, and I can't do that with a 4x4 piece in my hand. My hand doesn't have that same weight and force and velocity.
There is no dent on the refrigerator, and she can force it as hard as she will.
Sir, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Why did you write something saying you'd be responsible if you weren't?
Well, she wrote it. I was going somewhere.
You did come back.
Hello! How many times do I have to tell you it's not a spectator sport? Come here. How old is that boy right there? I'm 12. Come on over here. Switch places with your boy.
You're right there.
But,
beautiful.
Can you ever get a word in edgewise with your mom?
It's hard to say, actually.
Go ahead and sit, son. You're fine.
Have a seat. Come on back in.
You signed a document accepting responsibility, which is the kind of thing people do, I don't know, when they did it. When your guy did it.
So are you saying it's impossible to recreate it if it was indeed the vacuum
cleaner?
cleaner?
No, I'm saying I'm not even going to try it because it doesn't matter. You took responsibility. You were there when it happened. She screamed the second it happened. Does she strike you as the kind of person who has scratches on her Miele refrigerator? Because she doesn't strike me as that. So I don't think the scratches were there beforehand. Neither do you. That's why you did this. And there's only one thing that makes you want me to get up and attempt somehow with a 4-inch square and my hand to recreate the force of your guy's body, which isn't going to happen. There's only one thing that changed your mind, and what is it? How much it was, right? I find in your favor in the amount of the $2,584.22. If you have insurance, call your insurance company. Good luck, folks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, it was almost a slam dunk win for the plaintiff because, Andres, you signed a note saying you'd be responsible. You're on the hook. You understand?
It doesn't make,
It does.
It
does.
Yeah, I did sign it, but they could recreate it if it was indeed the vacuum cleaner that did the damage to that stainless steel.
Unfortunately, you signed it. She got the estimate of what it's going to cost, and you're on the hook for it.
Okay.
So I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Next time, read things before you sign them.
Okay.
Okay?
Not a problem.
You'll learn a lesson. Thank you. You must sign a few documents on your way out of the courtroom. Ms. Politino?
Yes.
All right, good for me, okay.
Yeah, hi.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You were pretty positive you were going to win.
Yeah, well, he did it, and I made sure that he signed something because I knew that it wouldn't hold up in a court of law. His word against mine.
They give you a
so.
lot of credit. Good
Yeah,
for you.
thank you. My mom watches the show, so
okay?
yeah, she
You learned
watches it
from
and she's
her?
like, get it in writing, everything in writing. So I know.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
Very
much.
good.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Very
Can I
good.
just say something?
Sure. What?
I like to say hi to my friends. Anthony Ferreira. I
Okay,
love you,
we
man.
can't do that now. Okay, you can't do it. Okay, sorry about that. Goodbye. Take care. Harvey.
Okay, Doug, here's the thing. In the prior case, there was a promissory note where the defendant didn't have to pay. Here, the defendant did. The promissory note is one piece of evidence. You have to look at the totality of evidence to decide who has to pay what.